Hi there, it's me, Jupiter, from the future. And thank you so much for checking out Season 1, Episode 1 of Deck of Friendship. I really hope that you enjoy the show. I just wanted to come in here at the very beginning, just to clarify. So, hi, my name is Jupiter. My pronouns are she, they. And for the first, 3 seasons of this show, I had a different name and slightly different pronouns. So yeah, just updating you. Hey, I'm Jupiter. All of my links are in the description with accurate information. I just didn't want to edit all of that to fix that. I mean, that's 3 seasons of episodes. Surely you understand. Oh, and also, we have a Patreon now. Don't sweat it too hard. I mean, this is likely the first time you're listening to this podcast, so don't worry about it. But if you end up really liking the show, maybe go check us out. You can find the link in the description of every episode. It's patreon.com/artdeckaspects. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the show, and bye-bye.
Hi folks, my name is Marble and my pronouns are she, her.
Hello, my name is Ray and my pronouns are he, him.
Hi, I'm Mars. My pronouns are they, them. And it's time to pull a card from the Deck of Friendship. This is a podcast where each week we talk about an episode of a game-based friendship anime. And this week we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1, Episode 1. But before we get into that, hi, y'all. What's this podcast? What is it? Where are we and who are we and why?
I'm in my room, and I'm Marble, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hey, I'm Ray. I'm in my basement. I'm very cold, and I go by he, him pronouns. And this podcast is a game-based friendship anime podcast where we talk about animes.
What does that even mean?
It means we watch some anime, preferably friendship game-based animes, and then we talk about it and talk about themes of friendship and perseverance and all that good stuff.
You know how when you watch a show and you think that it's just about little scraps of paper with pictures of monsters on them, but then it turns out that it's actually all about friendship?
Replace paper monsters with digital monsters, and
Digital
you're
monsters.
just doing Digimon now.
So yeah, that's the thing, is we're gonna be, over the course of this show, we're gonna be covering a whole heck of a lot of anime.
A gosh darn lot.
An entire plethora, a slew, a myriad,
yes.
gaggle.
A gaggle of anime.
A gaggle of anime. We're talking things like Bakugan and Beyblade and Digimon probably. And Card Fight apparently.
Yes.
And of course, Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I feel it's probably not the first anime to use to be based off a physical game and have friendship as a core theme, but
Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the first anime.
You're right. You are absolutely correct. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the first anime. It came down from the mountains, carrying 2 plaques in its hand, and they both said anime on them.
And the Valkyrie said anime.
And the Valkyrie said anime.
And the crops were watered, and they had a bountiful harvest.
Of anime.
What is this even? What is this religion that I'm creating?
It's you're an animeist.
A weeaboo.
It's a weeabooism, yeah.
Yeah, it's weeabooism. What am I saying? It's weeabooism.
Anyway,
okay,
that's what this podcast is. It's weeabooism.
So I guess I kind of want to go around the room I want to talk about, our experiences with, like, not only Yu-Gi-Oh! As a show, but, like, anime in general, because we kind of have sort of differing experiences on that as well.
I'll start, I guess.
Ray start. Ray start.
Go, Ray.
Ray start. That's
Go.
the name of my anime. I have watched, let me think. I have watched almost all seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1 and most of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I don't remember a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1, unfortunately, aside from there's Dice and also Virtual Reality and Penguin at some point. And Taya, Friendship, and My Valentine. So I guess those are the things I remember about Yu-Gi-Oh! In terms of actual anime, I think I'm a run-of-the-mill anime watcher. I'm not, like, super hardcore into watching millions of anime, but I pick and choose the ones I like. And should I talk about the animes I've seen, or just, like, in general, what kind of anime I watch? Because I watch, like, RPG fantasy animes, or, like, short animes that have, like, dark settings.
What sort of anime are you talking about? 'Cause you could say anything, and I wouldn't know what you're talking about, by the way.
Log Horizon is one of my favorite animes. There you go. If you know Log Horizon, I'm proud of you. If not, it's okay.
I super don't.
I've never heard
dude,
of Log
I don't.
Horizon.
I do not, as a matter of fact.
I recommend it to everybody.
Okay, I'll watch it right now.
Right now, please.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, y'all. I had a great time. I'm gonna go watch
So
Log
that
Horizon.
is season 1 of Deck of Friendship.
Yeah.
Next, we're doing Log Horizon. No, so
now I don't know anything about Log Horizon, but I guess we can make this a Log Horizon fan cast.
here's the thing: we might
I don't know
cover it
anything
in the
about
future.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Although I guess I could get to that in my introduction.
It's a people get stuck in a game anime.
Okay,
And the first thing you probably think of is Sword Art Online, and it's very not Sword Art Online. It's very much the social and political aspects of ending up in a fantasy game world where the people exist already, and you have to deal with the politics of kingdoms and adjusting to that sort of life, and it's very intriguing.
That does sound intriguing, actually. I'm writing it down.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Marble.
That's me.
What about you? What's your sort of experience? You have sort of I wouldn't call it necessarily a fun experience, but it is sort of a fun story about
I'm glad
about
you
Yu-Gi-Oh!
asked, Mars. I'd love to tell you all about my experience with Yu-Gi-Oh! So, when I was a youngster, I was very into the Pokemon and the Yu-Gi-Oh! And everything on 4Kids with the anime and the toys and the cards. And basically, this was in the late 90s, early 2000s, which was the height of something that I and many others would call Pokemon panic, in which religious parents were being told by their churches and by books like Christian writers about how things like Pokemon or Harry Potter or Yu-Gi-Oh! Were all like super evil. And my parents still like apologize to me for this to this day, but like they basically like they took one look at my Pokemon cards after reading these books and hearing these lectures, and they were like, feral imp? That sounds like demon summoning. and I was no longer allowed to have any sort of Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Anything. It was all gone with the wind. And I wanted to recommend the book that they read because it's like $1 on Amazon and it's extremely funny. And it's called Buying and Selling the Souls of Our Children. It is the funniest book on the entire planet. It has like excerpts on like why Dodrio is a false trinity.
Which is just okay. So a little
true.
Peek behind the curtain, a little peek behind the Deck of Friendship curtain that we have now. This is the second time we're recording this episode,
And the best time.
Because I don't know, some weird stuff happened and files got David blamed.
It got sent to the Shadow Realm. It's
Kaiba
fine.
did it.
Kaiba did it. Kaiba did not like how we were talking about him on the episode, so we have signed a contract with Kaiba Corp that we are no longer allowed to slander Kaiba's name on our podcast.
But we will.
Well...
I will. Mars won't.
I also will.
Yeah, I will too. But... so you were you the first time that you said that Doug Trio was an unholy trilogy,
a false trinity,
a false
the
a
Father,
false
the
trinity,
Son, the Holy Spirit.
Hey, I know so little about religion. I'm gonna be real, because I did not grow up in a religious household at all. I've been to church a total of like 5 times in my life. But that is maybe the most wild thing you could have said to me in that moment.
There's like entire chapters about how just like playing the Game Boy cartridges of Pokemon will like turn you into a demon summoner. It's great. There's like a video.
Dude,
on,
I wish.
There's like a
then maybe I'd be able to find a boyfriend.
Wait, you want to date a demon?
There's a Something Awful meme, or Everything is Terrible. It's an Everything is Terrible meme on YouTube, where a preacher is talking about how like card games are evil, and I'm sure that most people are pretty familiar with that one. But that's kind of like a summary of the panic surrounding that. And I did get back into Pokemon as soon as my parents forgot it was demonic. But I never got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! So I used to watch the show, I used to play the cards, and then I kind of didn't. But then my other experience with anime in general is I don't have to tell you how many anime I've watched because it is too many. But in my defense, I was a teenager with unrestricted access to the internet.
God, I wish.
And Ray, you want to be a teenager again?
Oh, no,
I don't.
No, let me clarify. God, I wish I was a teenager back then with unrestricted internet access.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing is that if you do that, you end up watching too much anime. So you know, it's not all peachy.
I guess it's the grass is greener, huh?
Yeah.
Kind of situation.
Yeah, I definitely wish I could trade places and not have watched as much anime as I have.
And I want to watch 10 million anime and make my eyes bust out of my head.
Oh, here's the thing. I'm sure everybody in the audience has, but like, watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because it's the only good anime. Okay, that's
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full
hey,
Metal
guess
Alchemist.
what, nerds?
What?
Anime sucks.
Yeah.
I'm quitting this podcast.
I mean,
you're right.
wrong.
Anime does suck. You are correct.
I don't actually have that much experience with anime. The only anime that I've watched to completion are Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Soul Eater, and City 17, I think is what it's called.
Like from Half-Life?
Oh, no, that's a Half-Life thing. What is it called?
I thought you were going to say City Skylines, and I'm like,
know,
there's
me
an
too.
anime for that?
There's an anime?
It's like City, no, it's something like that. It's a very gay show, which is pretty good.
I love
But
gay
Gay
shows.
City.
Soul Eater,
City gay.
Soul Eater is not a good show. And I'm just going to say that right now. And people are going to like not be friends with me anymore after saying that. But I say controversial things.
I did it
online.
last time and I'll do it this time. I will stick up for the ending theme song. The first one. The rest of them can go. But the first ending theme song in Soul Eater saved the whole show.
The whole aesthetic of Soul Eater is so choice.
And the animation.
Yeah, I will support the animation and the idea behind Soul Eater, and I enjoyed it. It's very problematic.
Yeah, it's not
like most anime that feature women. It's very problematic.
That have women in them.
Yeah, that's the thing. If like you can,
but also then we get into the conversation about what's culturally appropriate in Japan versus the West, and I don't want to get into that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to get into that, but here's the anime debate that I do want to get into. Subs versus dubs. dubs?
I watch
do what
subs,
makes you
but
happy.
dubs are good for accessibility. Don't at me.
Do what makes you happy. I don't care.
Yeah, I legitimately don't care either. Like, it fully doesn't matter. Personally, I tend to prefer dubs just because I have hard time paying attention to subtitles a lot of the time. But yeah, it fully like why I fully do not understand why it's like it's the same. It's one of those internet like arguments that like it's weird that an argument can become a meme where like the first thing that like people online might do in a conversation is get into an argument on purpose because it's like a meme argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm so done with that culture.
Yeah, it's
just saying. That's where I stand.
Yeah, I think that, like, first off, I think that getting into fights online is stupid and a waste of time.
Right, like, having, like, critical arguments is fine, and I promote that.
For sure.
But just arguing for the sake of arguing and getting laughs and, like, getting other people heated, like, I have so many other things to worry about, like my taxes and my mental health and my work and if my car will have gas tomorrow, that I don't care about
I feel like
internet.
I used to have so much energy to argue with people on the internet, and it's just gone. Now, when people get mad at me on the internet, I'm like,
you do finger guns at them. Well, there goes my notebook.
I pop my shades on, even if it's like 9:00 at night, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I can't get emotionally invested in what's happening here, and I walk away.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like, what about Internet Stranger makes me want to get emotionally invested in something? I want to go back quickly to the sub versus dubs. I prefer subs, but that's because I like to see the original. Like, sometimes, translations don't come through, and certain concepts and ideas are better seen in the original. But that's just me. And then vice versa.
I totally understand. And so that's the thing is we are. I think like what version we watch on this show will depend on what's available, but also just depend on the show. And in this case, we are going to be for Yu-Gi-Oh, we are going to be watching the 4Kids dub, and I know for some people that's going to be a little sacrilegious.
It's all I knew. It's all I knew growing up, so we're doing it.
We're doing it.
Joey, Earth to Joey, it's your move.
But yeah, the Japanese original dub and the English dub, story-wise, they go way different places. And that's something I think we will find a way to tackle on this show as best we can. But like, I don't think we're going to be watching both versions.
Maybe in the future, but not now.
Not now.
Maybe not ever. I'm not making any promises.
I don't want to back ourselves into a corner immediately on the first episode of this show.
Right. Anyway, that is this podcast. That is us. This is us.
This is us.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
We're gonna go watch the episode now.
Yeah, let's go watch the episode.
Let's go watch the episode. Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, normally we're just gonna, you'll click that episode button. We'll already have watched the episode, but we wanted to do a little bit of a little preamble,
Well, where are they now? Except the now is the beginning.
Yeah, where will they be? But yeah, so let's give this episode a watch, shall we?
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see the Shining Star Feral Imp in episode 1.
Honestly, absolutely.
If I don't
Where's
get
my boy?
Feral Imp in episode 1, I'm gonna write to 4Kids in the past.
The company that still exists.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hey, I figured out the perfect transition between the first half of this recording and the second half.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna do it. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
You cheated not only the game, but yourself. You didn't grow. You didn't improve. You took a shortcut and gained nothing, Yugi. You experienced a hollow victory. Nothing was risked, and nothing was gained. It's sad that you don't know the difference.
All right. Well, so
Thank you, Marvel.
Thank you for indulging me.
in this first episode, we have our special guest Kaiba. Kaiba, why don't you introduce yourself a bit?
Hi, I'm Kaiba. I hate poor people.
Who else? Kaiba, would you like to do the plot summary of this
Taxation
episode?
is theft, Kaiba.
I can't.
Okay.
I'm still losing it.
Okay.
That's right, Kaiba. Taxation is theft.
Taxation is theft, Kaiba.
Open your mind.
There. Maybe now you'll see. Okay, we need to do
So we're gonna
a
start
plot
off with
summary.
a plot summary.
Actually, the first thing that I want to say before we do a plot summary is that theme song slaps.
Yeah.
Yes, and Feral Imp was in it, so
So you got your wish.
Yes.
I did.
I don't have to call 4 kids.
Good luck if you did.
Yeah, no, that theme song slaps real good. It slaps 10 times. Is that how people use the term slap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely right. You're totally right.
That song is slapping hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
It slaps like a bong. No.
Here's the thing: is that slaps is what people say. I don't know if they say it like that.
No,
That-
Ray is saying it right.
That song is the slaps.
It is the slaps, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, I
It
need
has
to
some
stop
genuine
now.
slappiness to it.
Yeah, I mean, it builds up in a wonderful way, and you hear Yugi go, Yu-Gi-Oh! At some point, and
It's true.
it's magical. It's very magical.
I like the part where they go, "Your move."
I still didn't realize that was the actual line until recently. I thought they were just making mouth noises.
I love. There's a guitar riff in there that I really, really enjoy. It goes like you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I like it.
It's very
good.
radical. I remember as a kid being like, there's like so few words in this. The only experience I have with theme songs are like the Pokemon one and like Sonic X, and like this one has like no words. They say your move, and then it's just like jams upon jams while Feral Imp dances before my 8-year-old eyes. So we're gonna start off with a fun little plot summary to keep everybody up to speed. So you can go and watch the episode
Hey,
yourself.
Joey.
And honestly, I
Earth
recommend
to
it.
Joey.
Earth to Joey.
Hey, are you in there?
Earth to
It's your,
Joey.
it's your move.
It's your move.
Hmm.
I don't get any of this Duel Monsters crap, Yug.
Now is crap a swear?
I don't give any goshes about this Duel Monsters heck, Yug. Darn.
So who wants to start us off?
So Yugi and his friends are at school, and Yugi and Joey are playing Duel Monsters, and Yugi is beating the heck out of Joey, and they're talking about the game, and Taya and Tristan are also introduced, and also is Kaiba in an inner monologue where they talk about Yugi's grandpa's card shop.
Yeah.
And so
I just want to, because they're talking about how Yugi's grandpa has a rare card, and then Kaiba's eyes instantly dart over to them.
Rare card.
Rare card! It's fantastic.
So they go to the game shop, and his grandpa shows them his most precious, treasured possession, the blue ice white dragon. And then Kaiba shows up and says, "Give me that card. I'll give you cards and money." And they say no, and he leaves angrily.
He's in a huff. He leaves in a huff.
Because Grandpa says that he would never part with this card because it's very important to him sentimentally. And Kaiba's like, "Heart of the cards, what honky is that?"
What? Honk?
And-
What?
What honky is that?
Excuse me?
That sounds like a load of bullheck.
He calls the heart of the cards worthless, and then sends goons to kidnap Grandpa.
It's true. Yeah, there's some goons, including a man who I believe is only seen once in the show and never again. He's a short, bald-headed man with tiny, round glasses, and he looks like he's going to be an important character, and maybe he is in the original Japanese version, but he's certainly not an important character here.
So, these goons kidnap Yugi's grandpa, and take him to Kaiba Corp, which is like Kaiba's dad's mega corporation. And basically Yugi and his friends go to the card shop after school and see that his grandpa's not there. And then he gets a phone call and he picks up the phone, Yugi, and Kaiba's on the other line. I don't remember.
He says, hello, game shop.
Hello, game shop. So Kaiba is on the other line and he says, Yugi, I have your grandpa. If you want to see him, bring every card you have to this location, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's like doing a whole hostage situation thing.
Right,
so Yugi
I want to point something out real quick. At no point are the police ever called.
Well, that's the thing, is that police are there to protect capital, and since Kaiba is a rich person, there is pretty much nothing that they would be inclined to do about this kidnapping of the poor man. Right. Anyways, sorry.
Don't apologize, Marble.
They go to Kaiba Corp, and they find Yugi's grandpa, and he is like on the floor, all the way passed out. I mean, like he seems injured. He has to be carried out on a stretcher.
Yeah, Tristan just carries him.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he gets taken away in an ambulance.
Tristan gives him a big old piggyback ride.
Good for you, Tristan. But basically, Kaiba's like, you don't have to go with Yugi. It seems like they got it covered. You need to stay and battle me. And Yugi's grandpa hands him his deck that he just not even 10 minutes ago lost with. But he's like, believe in the heart of the cards, kick this rich kid's butt, and do me proud. And so Yugi takes the cards and he's like, I'm gonna kick your butt, Kaiba. And then they start to duel with some.
You skipped the most
No. I'm getting there.
Okay.
Hey. It's okay. I'm getting there. So, her name is Taya, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Before Yugi goes off to fight Kaiba, she calls everyone to huddle, and they do so. And she has them all put their hands together, and she draws a smiley face across all of their hands, which is, in my humble opinion, the best thing ever. Like if you put like all their hands together, it makes like an open mouth smiley emoji. And she said that it's a symbol of their friendship, and it's for good luck, and they're gonna beat Kaiba and stick it to the rich guy.
Yeah.
And then they all go to the hospital except for Yugi and Joey. Joey stays behind to cheer on his good friend Yug.
And then we get into the duel itself. And I actually have brought up a play-by-play of the duel.
Goodness. And
I'm not going to go through it like point by point, but the long and short of it is, the duel starts and they basically just, for the first bit, play a little bit of a, power struggle. Kaiba summons Hitosumi Giant. Hitosumi? It's not Hitosumi, it's Hitosumi. Hitosumi Giant. And then Yugi summons Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress.
The Fortress.
Heck if I know.
Kaiba
Core. Yeah, you're right. And, it kind of goes like that for a little bit. And Yugi starts drawing these cards, these weird pieces of cards, like, well, it's a whole card, but it's like, he draws right leg of the Forbidden One. And then Kaiba's like, hey, guess what, nerd? You know that blue eyes white dragon your grandpa had, and there are only 4 of in the world? Well, I also have one.
Now
Boom.
3, because I forgot to mention he did tear up Yugi's grandpa's card. He just
You're
took it
right,
and
you're
he
right.
ripped it to pieces, and he was like,
now this card can never be used against me.
And I hate poor people still.
So yeah, now there are 3 blue eyes white dragons in the world. Although tape does exist.
But I don't think
it's
that's
not
tournament
legal if it's
yeah,
tape,
it's not
yeah.
tournament legal if it's taped back together.
I don't think Grandpa is playing the card, you know?
He would have kicked Kaiba's butt in that fight.
Yeah. Well, would he though? Because then Kaiba summons another blue eyes white dragon. Oh no, he's got 2 of them. That meme, 2 of them.
There's no way he can have 3, right?
There's no way he can have 3. So Yugi draws Sword of Revealing Light, which is a magic card, which does not exist anymore. It is a lot of a lot of the early episodes of the show. Like the game evolved a lot over the course of the show, and the rules they're playing under in this duel are not the rules that people are playing under when they're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. And Swords of Revealing Light, it basically stops Kaiba's monsters from attacking for 3 turns. It says here, so there is like a play-by-play of the duel, but like even the play-by-play is a little confused on the details, because it just says Yugi's hand contains Rude Kaiser, left leg of the Forbidden One, right leg of the Forbidden One, left arm, right arm. But it's not like, at no point is it like, here's where he drew those cards. And then Kaiba summons Ray's favorite, Judge Man.
Judge Man!
Judge Man.
A good judgmental boy.
Yugi summons Dark Magician, which is Yugi's best card, but it's no match because Kaiba summons another Blue Eyes White Dragon, the 3rd one.
The last one ever.
The last one. Kaiba has all of them. Because he's rich and he bought all of them he bought them all with his dad's money.
He sniped those eBay auctions.
Mm-hmm. But so that's it. If it looks like Yugi's gonna lose, and he looks down at his deck, and the deck senses his doubt. And then he sees a vision of all of his friends with their hand on the deck, with the hand that has the smiley face, and his hand on the deck would complete the smiley face. Because his friends are all there with him in spirit, and it's the heart of the cards, and he draws Exodia the Forbidden One, instantly winning the duel, because that's just how Exodia works. Although apparently in the canon of the show, no one has ever summoned Exodia before. Like, no one's ever done it. No one's ever gotten all 5 pieces. Oh, did I mention that Grandpa's psychic?
He's something like that.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely astral projecting.
Yeah. I mean, when your body is hurt like his was, your soul just kind of leaves and goes to your next of kin, who is Yugi. And this is not canon, but his soul does go talk to Yugi for a sec.
Hey, quick question. What happened to Yugi's dad and mom? Or potentially dads and or moms?
So...
Kaiba has them.
Have you ever heard of Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl?
Are those Yugi's parents?
Those are
Is that
Yugi's
what you're
parents.
Suggesting to me?
Yes.
So every time
right.
that Yugi summons Dark Magician, he's summoning his dad.
Correct.
Wonderful, thank
you. His father's soul was sucked into that card.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to quickly establish that you are suggesting that the Dark Magicians are bisexual because there is no world in which anyone that looks like that is a straight person.
Absolutely. Also, I'm pretty sure Dark Magician Girl is actually Dark Magician's sister.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
So never mind my theory. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so Dark Magician...
We're onto something.
Dark Magician... Judge Man is Yugi's other dad.
Right. Yugi has 2 dads.
Yugi has two dads. It's Dark Magician and Judge Man. And Dark Magician Girl is his kooky aunt.
Right. I would watch this sitcom.
I would
too.
absolutely watch the sitcom.
We kind of just did.
Yeah. And then... Oh, by the by, so here's the thing. It's an anime, there's a lot in it. But, did we mention the fact that Yugi transforms into a large man?
Not yet.
No, he does do that, though.
He becomes a man through the Millennium Puzzle.
His voice gets deeper, and his eyes get more intense, and he goes, Kaiba, I'm gonna kick your butt.
And then
Kaiba's
I did it
that time, I didn't swear.
The only mention so far of Yugi turning into a man, and it's Kaiba going, what the?
Yeah, it's true. Spoilers, I guess, but like for the most part in the show, most people don't tend to care about the fact that Yugi transforms into a big man.
It's because he keeps the hair.
When he's got, because his Millennium Puzzle, which is an upside down pyramid
with an eye on it.
It's the Illuminati. It does a little wiggle, it does a little dance, and Yugi screams, Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is the only time in the show that the word Yu-Gi-Oh! Is important. And he transforms into a man. He goes from being approximately 3 feet to like 5'6".
Yeah, that's accurate. Anyway, is that the episode?
That's the episode.
Yugi, as Big Man, shatters Kaiba's brain.
In a sense, yes. We're not sure.
Yeah, that's what that move is called. It's called Brain Shatter.
It's called Brain Shatter, and it opens up your mind to new ideas and friendship.
But also shatters it.
And also, you gotta pick up your brain now, because it's all in pieces, like a Millennium Puzzle.
I like that analogy. It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll play with that a little bit later.
Yeah.
I want to hear everyone's initial impressions of this episode.
Although initial impressions is maybe a bit generous.
Impressions.
Yeah, because we have seen this episode twice now. Also, is it time? Can I do it? Can I talk about...
It sounds like you want to do it.
I want to talk about it.
Please.
Yeah, we've alluded to it a little bit, but...
Yeah, because I can't help myself.
But please, get into it.
Okay, everybody. So this is not new to me. Like, this is not a revelation I just had. I had it the first time we watched the episode. It's all up in my notes. But basically, the entire first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a metaphor for class struggle, and I will go through that just real quick. Just touch on every point,
okay,
and then if we want to get deeper into
Please do.
Yeah. So the episode starts with Yugi and Joey having a Duel Monsters battle, as youngsters do in this universe. And Joey loses very quickly. Well, I guess we don't know how long the battle had been going on before, but it seems like Yugi just kind of destroys him. And he's like, I'm no good at Duel Monsters. And that's how he talks. I don't know if we established that, but that's how he speaks.
Hey, Yug! Hey, Yug!
Hey, Yug! So Yugi is like, it's not that you're bad at the game, it's just that my grandpa owns a card shop, so I have better cards. And essentially what they're doing is they're establishing that Yugi has privilege, and essentially because of his lineage, he is receiving more advantages in these Duel Monsters duels than the average person, such as Joey, a presumably blue-collar, casual Duel Monster player. So they've already established that there are differences based on economic class in this universe. And then the rest of the episode is about Kaiba, a very rich boy, using his wealth and power to bully those of a lower class. He comes to the card store, he offers like money, and he offers cards to take this Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is a possession that Yugi's grandpa just likes to have. He doesn't necessarily use it, he just likes having it.
Mm-hmm. Its value does not come in from the fact that it's a rare card. It's the fact
they established that too.
You'd feel the same way if it was a common card, right, Gramps?
That's right, Yugi. So
what a bunch of baloney.
What a bunch of baloney. So Kaiba is real upset by this because he wants that card for essentially monetary reasons. You know, there's only 4 in the world, and it could hurt his status if he loses to someone else who has a blue eyes white dragon. And he essentially uses his wealth and power to bully these I won't say poor, but at least like lower to middle class. You know, it's just they own a card shop that probably does decent business because it seems like Yu-Gi-Oh is or Duel Monsters is a popular game in this universe. So they probably do decent, but they don't own a company like Kaiba Corp. They don't have a corporation. And essentially, when they all go and fight Kaiba, they believe in themselves, they believe in the power of friendship, and they manage to pull out a win against this mega corporation. Now, I haven't seen the rest of the show. I don't remember the rest of the show at all. So I don't know if these themes are consistent throughout, but the first episode is very clearly about how these lower to middle class people stick it to the rich boy that's essentially bullying people with his privilege and his wealth and his power.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
Yugi develops class consciousness to help his friends.
Yeah, I think honestly it's like a pretty awesome read on the episode. I'm a big fan of it. I do not remember if those sort of themes continue because it's not something that I ever noticed when I was watching the show before, but it makes a lot of sense on reflection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not something I noticed as a child because I didn't know about class structures as a child.
Right.
But like watching it now, I'm like, yeah, no marble, she's got it. Boom, bam, done. This show is about, if you just watch episode 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh, you're like, oh, this show is about metaphors, about class struggle.
See, here's the thing is that's literally all I know about the show, and that's what it feels like in my heart, that maybe the rest of the show will follow this. I don't know if it will or not, but I'm kind of hoping it does, because that was like, for me, that was a very fun read. I was having a good time drawing these conclusions based on what they presented to me.
It's a good read, and even if it's not what the show's going to continue, like, those are definitely facts that are true anyway about these characters. Like, you're right, like, Yugi and them are the middle class, and Kaiba is of the upper class, and they struggled against him.
I mean, just look at the difference between the quality of the battles. You know, like, Yugi fights Joey like on his desk at school, and Kaiba is like, I only duel with these massive holograms that money created somehow.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Which I love the holograms.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Right. Well, yeah, because like, I mean, certainly the show would not be maybe as interesting to watch if we couldn't see the monsters.
Well, do we ever again see characters just having a duel? Just chilling and just playing?
Probably. I can't remember right now.
Honestly, yeah, neither can I. But
Kaiba, Earth to Kaiba. It's your move, Kaiba.
I really enjoyed this episode. I really here's the other thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're just watching it for the first time, you realize it's metaphors for class struggle, and also it's about building bonds of friendship to overcome obstacles, and that's hammered firmly into the beliefs of the characters.
Yes.
And growing up, that's not something I really noticed. I remember the friendship symbol, and I was like, cool, but I'm pretty sure that theme carries throughout the entire show.
Yeah. Friendship versus capitalism.
Friendship versus capitalism is the name of our podcast. And some of the things that I didn't like about this episode was mostly the voice acting and the lines. But I think that's just because some of the lines are a little dated. And it wasn't done... Well, I don't want to say it wasn't done by a professional studio, because I don't know what to define 4Kids as.
A studio.
Right. But,
yeah.
You can tell the show's a little dated, but, at the heart, it's still good.
Heart of the cards?
Mars, what did you think?
I loved it. For me, like the voice acting and the like lines and all of that, like the writing, really, I loved it all. I loved it all. I thought it was such a blast. Like it's such a fun show, and I love the animation style and the art direction. It's just so fun to watch. I love all the characters. I think just like the dueling is like, because it's basically a fight scene. Mm-hmm. But you know, instead of punches and kicks, it's cards. But like, I think the duel is like really exciting and fun to watch, and it's got so many iconic moments in it. My favorite, of course, being Kaiba saying, "Draw your last pathetic card," and then Yuki's like, "My grandfather's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba," and then he draws Exodia, and it's a cool moment. Yeah, no, I don't know that I have any like complaints about it. Like, it's just really fun to watch.
It's so endearing in a way that I did not expect. Like, yes, it's cheesy as all hell, as
of course,
as card game animes about friendship are, in my opinion, meant to be.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It works well, and I want to throw this as a discussion topic just into the mix about the hand symbol being paralleled in the narrative as like Exodia, like putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
And then presumably later something with a Millennium Puzzle. I mean, it's called a Millennium Puzzle, and I don't know anything about it, but I'm assuming that that's gonna come up again. But it's like they put their hands together when they pull the last card of Exodia, and like it's this whole like it's this whole symbol for friendship and believing in yourself and believing in the deck and the heart of the cards. It's great. It's so good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that is definitely not something I recognized growing up. I was like, cool, Exodia. Like, I didn't care about friendship as a child. I don't know if that's obvious. But watching it now, you're totally right, Marvel. And it's really cool how they did that. How they tied those things together.
You know, we've got all of these thematics and allegories and metaphors and all of that, but I'm here to ask the real important questions.
Please.
What happened to Grandpa?
Oh, he got injured. He got very hurt.
Okay, here's my theory. When we come in, we're in medias res. Grandpa just got beat by Kaiba. He's on the ground, injured somehow, and Kaiba's like, "I have this card now, rip, rip." And then Grandpa's like, "I'm milled and injured." And what I think happened was either one of two things, and I want it to be the first thing. Kaiba just kicked him off the virtual top thing, just like, no, this is my card.
I think if he fell from the top, he would be dead.
Fair. No, yeah. Here's my other theory. Once they got down, Kaiba had some grunts, pushed him over, and took the blue eyes from him.
Now, I think that's most likely what happened, but I do want to point something out. As far as I can tell, the room where they find Grandpa is not the same room that the duel happens in.
Right.
So Grandpa fell down at some point after the duel.
Right. So I'm assuming they finished the duel, got down from the virtual towers, and then they go to the room, and then Kaiba's like, "Grunt A, take the card," and then they push him over and take the card, and now Grandpa's injured.
I think from a textual standpoint, what they want you to assume is that he just like he dueled so hard that he lost and just lost all of his energy, got fatigued. I don't know, but since it's never explained, we can literally theorize as much and for as long as we want. I believe it was brought up last time that the grandpa was seeking liability after getting his card stolen.
Yep.
and it was like, Kaiba, you don't have any cameras in here. Oops, I tripped on your hologram stairs. These aren't up to code. And
Right.
he's gonna take him to Judge Man court.
Well, yeah. If OSHA walked into that dueling arena, they would have so many problems. The dueling platforms.
Railings.
There's no railings. There's no harness. There's no nothing. It's just a ladder up to a big platform.
Now, the holograms themselves seem to contain flashing lights, also, of which there is no warning.
Right. There's flashing lights. Also, and this is something we discussed last time, the holograms seem to be able to, like, have physical effect on the real world. In like, when attacks happen, like people get, like, blown back. And, like, my theory on that is very, like, legitimately just like, oh, I think it's just, like, there are, like, big fans or something in the platform that activate, whatever. But that's also very dangerous, Kaiba.
He's rich. He doesn't care.
I think that might be entirely true. Is that he just doesn't care how dangerous it is.
He just thinks it looks cool and will sell money.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about.
It'll sell money, Ray.
It'll sell money.
It'll sell money.
Kaiba Core, we sell money.
It'll sell money.
Yeah. I think that's the mystery of Grandpa solved. He got beat up
He got beat up.
He got beat up by a thug, and he got his card stolen.
A thug that just so happened to wander into Kaiba Corp.
I guess my question is, why even have the duel?
As a show of power.
Are you saying from the grandpa's perspective or from Kaiba's?
From either. Well, from Kaiba's especially. If he's just going to beat up an old man anyway, why not get it over with at the start?
That's why I think it was the liability thing, because I think that in context, if Kaiba was going to push the man over and steal his card, he could have just done that. He literally had his hired muscle kidnap Yugi's grandpa. Grandpa was like, "What if I refuse?" And they were like, "You don't have a choice, buddy. You're coming with us." They kidnapped this card shop owner who's old and defenseless, and they bring him to Kaiba Corp so that essentially, from what I can tell, Kaiba can just like flex on him like really hard and maybe like also take the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then I don't know, maybe there was a struggle when he tried to take the dragon. We don't know. We weren't there. We weren't in the room when it happened.
So, I guess, and here's the other thing that we have to address, and we talked about it very briefly, but Grandpa is psychic.
He is.
It's not stated anywhere, but he does, like, astral project into Yugi's head. Like, twice.
Yes.
And
he knows when Yugi's having doubts, and he knows when Yugi won.
Yeah, he knows when Yugi won. Like, he's psychically linked to Yugi.
Now that seems like a violation of privacy.
It does.
There's probably an agreement they made. I
wouldn't be comfortable if my grandpa astral projected to me and talked to me about my feelings. I'd be like, "It's a little personal, Grandpa."
They probably did a contract. It's fine. They have limits.
Imagine signing a contract with your own grandpa about whether or not he's allowed to psychically project into your head.
Now, is this a notarized contract or like a spiritual like magic contract?
So here's the thing. So Judge Man is there to make sure that it's a legal contract, and then Karibo is there to make sure that the spiritual side is also obligated.
So Judge Man has notary powers.
Correct.
Okay.
Judge Man. So on that note, Ray, do we want to get into our featured card of the episode?
Yes. What did we call this? Card creeps? Didn't like that.
That. Card creep is bad.
Card captors. Nope, that's an anime. We had something.
The very special featured card zone where we talk about a card, and that's the full title.
We had something. Marble thought of it.
Also, and that's the full title is part of the title.
Yes.
I don't remember, folks.
We'll look into it. We'll figure it out. But we're gonna do some featured card every episode.
Yeah, we want to highlight a card that's in the episode. because
we're nerds.
Now, does Yu-Gi-Oh follow a typical Monster of the Week structure where every week we're going to learn something cool, like a new card or something? Or
for sure.
A little bit.
Cool.
Like new cards and stuff are introduced all the time.
Awesome.
It's more like Person of the Week. Anyway,
Yeah.
you'll see. So this episode's featured card is Judge Man, who was used by Kaiba, and it is a monster type. Attribute is Earth. It's a warrior normal type, and it's level 6, and it has an attack of 2200 and a defense of 1500.
Now, can we just really quick talk about how many things there are on a Yu-Gi-Oh card?
Yes. There
Okay.
is the name.
The name,
level.
the level, the elemental type.
Yep.
Those circles. The circles at the top.
The circles are the level.
Oh.
Yep.
So
type.
it's like it's like monster type, and then it's card type.
Right. So the type it is like the kind of monster it is. Or like whatever. And then there's monster, spells, traps, and something else. And the color of the card indicates what that is. And monster cards are usually brown.
Yeah, monster cards are brown, spell cards are green, trap cards are like deep purple, like purple pink.
Yeah.
But in the show, they all look exactly the same.
No, they
Or
don't.
no, were they different colors? They were different colors, weren't they?
Yeah. And
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and then we get into some hues of blue depending on fusion monsters.
Yeah, there's
and then-
fusion monsters,
And
and
then
then there's
there's-
synchro monsters.
Mhm, it's a whole thing. And then there's special cards that just have their own color.
Yeah.
Now I'm being mind broken. I do want to say that, like, I'm very glad that they spared us the literal experience of playing with a deck that you're not familiar with, that like Yugi was doing, in which he painstakingly had to read all of the descriptions before he could take his turn.
Right.
Right.
And speaking of, the flavor text of this card is, this club-wielding warrior battles to the end and will never surrender.
You know, like a judge does.
Yeah, a judge never gives up. That's the tagline for judges.
Like
All judges.
all
Every single-
judges. All judges with their clubs.
Judges never give up.
With
It's
their
the
clubs
judge
and
club.
crowns.
They walk around with their clubs and just chant, judges never give up.
And they fight endlessly because they're judges, as judges do.
They
Now,
don't...
is Judge Man a species, or is Judge Man a, like, individual?
He's a man. And definitely a species.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Is there a species of Judge Men? And if one of them transitions, are they a Judge Woman?
Yes?
Yeah.
Or do they be...
Sorry for posing so many difficult questions.
No, this is good. They might become... Okay, so whenever a Judge Man dies,
Oh, God.
he becomes a scapegoat.
A scapegoat.
Yes, you don't know what the scapegoat is. Oh, no!
Oh, no. Is this Yu-Gi-Oh! Deep lore that I'm not familiar with?
It's a card.
Oh.
It's a card... We'll highlight it later, for sure.
For sure. But Judge Man, I believe, is intended to be a single person, although, like, not all of the cards have lore. Some cards are just like, you know,
Right.
hey, Judge Man exists, deal with it.
I think a lot of the cards are like, this card is this is the monster. There's
Right,
no
yeah.
species.
Right.
Like, Dark Magician, that's the Dark Magician. Blue Eyes White Dragon, well, there's 4 of them. 3 of them. Time Wizard, that's the Time Wizard, you know? This has been card inspectors.
Card Corner.
Card Corner!
There it is.
I'm dabbing.
Hell yeah.
I also dabbed, actually.
I just went ahead and did a courtesy dab.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's the card corner. Look forward to it. We'll probably clean it up, figure out a more fun way to talk about the cards than just this is it. But we'll figure it out. Back to the show.
Can we discuss the nature of the heart of the cards, specifically if the heart of the cards is a tangible thing? If the deck is in some way sentient, then is tearing the Blue Eyes White Dragon akin to murder?
Okay.
So
we had part of this conversation last time, but okay, like the basic idea.
I'm coming at it in a new way.
Coming at it in a new way. So the basic idea here is that, like, in the episode, like, Yugi, like, I guess, activated the heart of the cards to pull the final piece of Exodia that he needed. Through the power of friendship, through the power of the heart of the cards, he was able to summon Exodia. So the two questions we're raising here, I guess, or like, okay, the question is, oh my god, there's so many questions that you've raised. Okay, so does the heart of the cards physically change the order that the cards in the deck are? Does it physically change the order of the deck? If it does that mean that the deck is in some way alive? If that's true, is tearing up a card murder?
And also, is Heart of the Cards cheating? Because it does change the order that the cards are in. Supposedly, maybe. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Right.
But, yeah, I think we should start with the question of, does it change the order of the deck? Which the language of the show seems to suggest it does, because I can't imagine a scenario in which Yugi doesn't, like, start believing in his friends and they all pull the last card from the deck together and they make the friendship symbol with their hands. Like, if he was still scared, if he was still doubtful, and his grandpa was like, Yugi, you have to believe in yourself, and he's like, but grandpa, I don't think he would have pulled the last piece of Exodia. I don't think it's realistic.
So I think the answer then is yes, the cards change.
So nobody wants to debate that.
No,
I don't.
I feel like they must. They must.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, you're right. Like, there's no scenario where he you know, he sees all of his friends in front of him, and they all pull the card together, and then he pulls Faralim. There's no way that happens.
But if it did, think about how absolutely incredible that would be. So is it cheating, and is it direct action?
So I think what we did, because we did have a bit of this conversation last time, but I think what we decided is that it's not cheating because...
Correct. Yeah, so it's not... using the heart of the cards is not cheating because potentially everyone has access to the heart of the cards. Yugi is very receptive to it because Grandpa taught him. But Kaiba equally has that opportunity to access the heart of the cards if he opened his mind and allowed friendship and trust into his heart.
Yeah,
and believed in his deck, not just power.
If Kaiba had a friendship circle with his ragtag group of buds, then
and formed a bond with his deck,
then he absolutely would have won that duel.
So it's like when people get that controller hookup that lets them use a mouse and keyboard on their PS4, and then they play Overwatch and they just destroy everybody. Like, everybody technically can access this benefit. However, some people don't believe in it and still have technically the same rules and the same tools, but they're not utilizing the heart of the aimbot.
Right, that is such a specific example, but I see how it works.
It's where my mind went. I saw your McCree profile picture, and I was like,
Yes. No, I think that's what it is. Like, everybody technically has equal access to this. And this goes into the class thing. Everyone has equal access to the heart of the cards. But the upper class doesn't think they need it because they're above it with money and power.
The heart of the cards represents socialism.
It does. Oh, I like this because it's about community. It's about your bonds with other people. It is the symbol of friendship. It's the symbol of working together, and that is something that Kaiba vehemently rejects, even insofar as to deny a duel with his classmates, unless it is in the context of bullying them.
Mm-hmm.
You're so right. Like,
I have a lot to say about this episode.
We broke this case wide open.
We really did.
So it's not cheating. It is a tool. It's an assist, and rich people can use it, but they choose not to because they have been corrupted by money and power.
They
don't
believe they have
that
better
level
tools.
of empathy. Yeah, exactly. They have 3 blue eyes white dragons. So who needs friends?
Right.
Everyone needs friends.
Blue-eyes dragons can be my friend.
Don't spoil it.
Now, if somebody is like, what if somebody's like a kind of a neat, they don't have any friends? Does that mean they're like fundamentally worse at the game?
I don't think so, because they could still believe in the heart of the cards.
Oh, now my brain is drawing parallels to Card Fight because it's about a neat with no friends that plays card games. You know what? Card Fight's good. Okay, that's it.
We'll get to it, Marble.
Yes.
What was the other question?
The other question is the deck alive?
I think, in a sense,
now,
yes.
So here's the other question. Are the cards alive? Because those are two different questions.
See, I need more evidence. I feel like I'm not convinced that the deck is alive. I think that the Millennium Puzzle has something to do with that last draw, as well as the power of friendship. I'm not ready to accept that the deck is alive. I want to watch more, and I want to make that conclusion. I want to find out, is the deck alive? Did Kaiba murder a innocent card?
But okay,
probably worth
so
$1 billion.
I want to raise this point. The question of is the deck alive is different from are the cards alive?
Right.
And so are we deciding that like which line of thought are we pursuing? Because if the deck is alive, then that means like I'm treating it more like a force that is upon the deck. But if the cards if the cards are alive, then the deck is making a decision.
Well, if the deck is alive, would it be a collective unconscious of the cards, or is life imposed upon it once it becomes a deck?
I was thinking more life is imposed upon it when it becomes a deck.
Okay.
I think the monsters are alive, and their souls are in the cards and the decks.
I don't want to live in a universe where Feral Imp is not alive.
Like, they're not I think there's the spirit of that monster is imbued in the cards.
The heart of the cards, even.
Right, yes. We really need to get these terminologies down the show. Once we get that, we'll feel much better. But I think we need to see more to get to reach a conclusion.
Yeah, I agree.
About this specifically, yes. I am not ready to say whether or not the cards or the deck are alive. I will abstain.
Okay.
I plead the fifth, Judge Man.
Okay, Jesus. Well, like a judge man wielding a club, I think we have reached the end of our journey.
I think we have. Well, all right. I guess our hand's been played. Thank you for listening to Deck of Friendship. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us on Twitter at FriendshipDeck or deckofriendshippod@gmail.com. Our turn is over. Your move.
Ooh, I got tingles from that. That was good.
I like that.
I got tingles.